a young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle Show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be my...
Appreciate you, Coach. Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and, of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Denver Broncos and the Minnesota Vikings. Now a two-time 1,000-yard rusher for the Bears. This is Jordan Howard. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. One play has him up past the 40 already and another 1st and 10. Play action now. Bridgewater. Throw left side complete. That's Lee. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. This is Chris Thompson in his 7th season now as a Redskin. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
A first down throw for Bridgewater. He'll buy some time right, and he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 23.
A gain of 18 on the play.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Aaron Ripkowski. His first touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
To the 3.
The former Florida Gator, Jordan Scarlett, the rookie with a carry. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 30-yard line.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. This is Scarlett on the carry, and he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Now a first down throw for Newton. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double-team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Here's the second year back from Southern Miss, Ito Smith. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Now Scarlett. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton looks to throw, fires right side, and that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. And look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal. I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Wide, get wide. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Swing.
Out of the gun, Bridgewater. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Lee. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down. On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. Throw left side complete. That's James. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Here's Bridgewater. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Lee. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. On 3rd down, Bridgewater. And James has it. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point that continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Play fake. Bridgewater. Throw left side complete. It's Lee. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Chris Thompson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos push further out in front. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And it's now 14-0. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
In your face.
Newton now to throw. Caught left side by Hilton. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down.
Let's go, defense.
From the gun, here's Newton. And that will be incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Fielded just inside the 20. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Throwing is Bridgewater. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
He's crashing. He's checking crash.
From the gun, Bridgewater. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Here's Jack Fox now. Back deep, Golden Tate.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
I'm scared.
They will start the drive with Scarlett. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll run it with Scarlett. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
Set. 180. Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins home. Great. 56 to Mike, boys. 56. Check 56. Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run.
Cam fakes the give and keeps it. Complete to Hilton. And he is going to lose yardage here. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10. Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. Completes it to Lee. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Running with Howard. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they're going to have a 3rd down. They'll try to run for it with Howard. And Howard stopped short. He didn't get there. He needed 2. He got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard. Here now, Brett Maher. He hit from 62 in his rookie season of 2018. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Come on, baby.
Out of the gun, Newton. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Rashawn Gary in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Here's Newton. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. They are in the second quarter down in Miami. The Bills have taken an early lead against the Dolphins. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. On first down, they run with Howard. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number one. The Broncos on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. He's airing it out for Sanu. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. The Broncos send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime?
And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They turn to Scarlett again. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. The shotgun snap for Newton. On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down. Here's Cameron Johnston now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken at about the 14. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
On first, they go right back to Howard. Escapes the defender. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. It's a big-time run by Jordan Howard. 48 yards on the ground. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Now Howard. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. Howard all alone in the backfield on second and goal. They get it to him running left, and he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Jordan Howard, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Broncos push further out in front. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Staying on the ground. This time it's Smith. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get them much at all.
No, not at all. And that leaves them with third and long, which means you got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
Hey, Mike's 50. We own 20. We own them. Hey, alert. Mike's 50. Watch the curl. Watch the curls.
To throw on third down. Newton escaping the pressure right. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Rashawn Gary in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This is taken at the 18. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Check it back.
They run with Howard. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Again, it's Howard. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down. A good run by Jordan Howard, and now another 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Jordan Howard with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Broncos push further out in front. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. The bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. On the handoff, it's Scarlett. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
'50's the mic. '50's the mic. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
On 2nd and 11 now. Newton. That is incomplete. Tre'Davious White, the LSU man, there to knock it away that time. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Newton. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Check 52. Kill. Check.
On 1st down, it's Howard. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They go with Howard again. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they create.
There he goes left side. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Jordan Howard, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Broncos use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Back to throw, Newton. Flushed out right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Rashawn Gary. It's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a second and very long. Going up top. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver. And that takes us from second to third down.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move. 4 down, 4 down. Check. 4 down, 4 down.
From the gun, Newton. And the Broncos get there and take him down. The sack by Marcus Hunt.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Taking it about the 16. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. A give left side to Howard. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes.
Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And the field position doesn't get much better than this. They'll have it 1st and goal at the 8-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards?
Hey. 4 down, 4 down, 4 down.
The win for the Broncos seemingly assured. They go down to a knee. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today.
A 28-yard attempt.
The kick by Maher is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as a